Hello, hello, greetings, salutations. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I am your host, Haunted Goose, and welcome to the Hour of Haunting, where we do art and talk about life sometimes and, just get creative together. Thank you guys so much. I hope everyone had a great weekend or is having a great weekend, depending on where you're at the world. It's Monday over here, so the weekend is a couple days away from us. But yeah, hope everyone's doing good. Thank you guys so much. Sorry, one of my magnets fell. Um, Thank you guys so much for voting for today's stream. It was kind of a close call. I'm not gonna lie, as it always is. You guys are really splitting up. You guys are like splitting hairs when it comes to these votes, and I love it. But you guys were very supportive. Thank you. I got a lot of why not both. So for if you're new to the channel, basically on my Instagram, not everyone has access to um, the inbox sometimes or my post, at least like they don't see it right away just because of the time difference. So I like to put the polls up on um, my stories, and you guys voted for a beach bunny draw today. So I sketched her up right here. We're going to transfer her onto watercolor paper. I'm actually going to do some housekeeping things because I know you guys had some questions that you guys messaged me over the weekend. I'm always happy to answer your questions. Wait, I'm just going to move my chat on over here in case you guys have any questions during the stream. I'll also apologize if I'm a little scatterbrained. Unfortunately, from the last stream, last Wednesday's stream, my scatterbrainedness has not um, been fixed at all. But that is okay. Hopefully, I will. I don't know. Anytime I get on stream with you guys, I always love it because you guys get me right back on track. I've been a little bit uh, all over the place as far as just getting stuff out to you guys, but you guys have always been super supportive and I'm always very thankful. So before we get into it, just a quick shout out to the patrons, which funny enough, I actually have an update on that. But thank you so much for my patrons, for your emotional support, for the financial support, and just overall, thank you guys for being so awesome. And so about that, about the patron, I originally had a plan that we were going to do a July launch. However, it was brought to my attention that a lot of you guys are leaning towards more digital content where you guys want kind of more videos or kind of downloadable content or printable content, which I'm super excited that I'm working on currently. However, it's like at least for the top two tiers that I have, which is the $1 tier and the $5 tier, I feel I need a bit more of a backlog. So at least for I kind of got a bit ambitious thinking I could create everything in a month. Um, but it's not enough to like where I feel comfortable like to set those prices and there'll be enough content for you guys to enjoy for the whole month. So what I'm gonna do is I'll postpone the launch till August. Hopefully maybe the 2 month difference will kind of give you guys enough content to where it'll like validate the price because I was really crunching the numbers and kind of looking at everything, and as much as I would want to kind of pump everything out. What I want to do is at least have 2 to 3 months of work kind of already lined up and secure for you guys. So then you guys can enjoy that instead of just having like enjoyed like just a couple of weeks worth. So hopefully that will make the difference and then you guys can enjoy more content. I already filmed one of the videos for the month, so I at least want two or three already done and edited, so then you guys can kind of have something to enjoy already within the first week so far. Um, and also, I am working out the kinks to do my mailing tier. For the future, I'm kind of getting all my products, which is probably like why even on this one, you'll see like one of my experiments, I guess, that I'm working with tracing paper. So we'll have fun together on that. So yeah, I'm so sorry for all the hustle and bustle and back and forth. Um, I really would rather like work out the kinks now and like not have you guys to spend money for content that's just not good. So, also, if you hear some sniffing and snapping baby girls with me today, so my foster puppy is joining us for today. So, if you hear any cute beeps and boops, oh, hello, hi, Jess. Very nice to see you. Thank you for joining the stream. Oh, also housekeeping. Um, a lot of you guys asked me for the products that I use during my stream, so I thought I would kind of show you guys a little bit. The specific product that I'm using for today, I'm just gonna show it here. I like to show at least the Amazon listings, so then you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, just because um, I can like type it in, but I would rather you guys see it for yourselves. So yeah, so the watercolor palette that I'm using for today is this one. It's the sketch set. Now the only thing that's different from mine is that I don't use the exact brush because, which is, it is good for beginners, but once you kind of get the water control down, basically graduating to round brushes or flat brushes is recommended just because with like kind of a squeeze brush like this, it will kind of wear down after a while. The filter's pretty nice just because it will give you, especially when you're first starting out and probably using cheapo paper, you're less likely to rip through the paper as much. Um, but yeah, I don't use like the squeeze brush anymore, but I do use the palette. And what's super cool about it is that it's like travel size. So, also, what I would recommend too, other than the squeeze brush, is getting your own small water spray. I got mine from the dollar store. Um, I'll show it here on camera. When I started using this, it changed the game for me, especially when I was experimenting with different brush sizes and stuff. It kind of, if you just spray this, like give your palette a good spray with it, the colors are a little bit more pigmented, and you can pick this up literally at the dollar store. And it's small, and for me, it really helps with. Do not use perfume bottles. I learned that the hard way because the alcohol will break the pigment. Thank goodness when I did try that, it wasn't a cheapo uh, watercolor set. But yeah, this one at least from Amazon. I bought mine at the time from an art supply store, and I do remember it sent me back $40, which is a bit pricey. But here it's just 21, I think, with Prime. Um, but if you're new to watercolors, I definitely always recommend like going for kind of cheaper brands just to kind of get a feel for it to see if you like it, and then graduating on to something a bit more comfortable for your price range, because I will tell you, watercolor takes a little bit of time to get used to. So if it's something that you're brand new to it, don't feel like you have to like spend money on expensive brands to enjoy the experience. The only thing is, really, when it comes to watercolor, it's just something more of a pigment. So, more expensive brands will have a lot of the times more pigmented watercolor, or like color variety. So if it's something that like you're willing to roll the dice with on that, for me, this is kind of um, my almost graduation present, I guess, like from just using like those watercolor pans that you would get in kindergarten. Like this is literally my uh, like step two, I guess. Especially that I was pretty new to colors, so getting these deeper oranges and golds and stuff like that, it really helped out with like shading and stuff. So if you're also new to like the whole color wheel and shading and stuff like that, definitely recommend this one also. And then the second one, which honestly I'm pretty new to this to the jelly gouache world. I am comfortably in my third month of using jelly gouache and I adore it. Um, a lot of people are, especially now with like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, are using it. But what I like is at least for the variety of color that you get and the amount too. A lot of the color goes a long way. It's a pretty good price. And it does, at least for me, it's kind of my new favorite, you know. I don't want to like slant you one way or another. But I also use the spray bottle for this too because even though um, it does show on the pan like where it stays that jelly consistency, if you use it as much as I do, it does dry up pretty fast. So at least in my book, spray bottle also works for this. And then the third one, I know this one's a bit more of a search because I actually got acrylic gouache when I was here in Japan. I was not able to find, um, I wasn't able to find the Amazon link because I guess it's sold out. But Pentel came out with the acrylic gouache set. And depending if you find it for the 15 piece or the 13 one, the 15 piece is basically where you have, I believe, two extra of like the China white, which like I need to double check, but basically it's like a $2 difference between the both sets. So, or it's, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna correct myself. It's actually because it comes with the primary colors, which is good, like an extra set of the primary colors, which is great for shading and things like that because you do go through blues and reds and certain pigments pretty fast. But yeah, I at least got the one, I believe it was the 13 piece one with like the two China white in it. So that was around 21. So those are super. Oh, hello. How are you doing? Oh, sorry, Jess. I missed your message. Gouache. Yeah, honestly, I love gouache now for outlining. Especially, oh boy, I'm gonna come out with a video soon, guys. I'm so excited to like it could have been, I've just been so naive when it comes to this part of watercoloring. But oh man, I made a new paper discovery that like changed the game. I will, you know what? Let me bring out at least our poor piece that sacrificed themselves in the name of science. I'll show you guys this one. But hello, Brown. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Going to click back. But yeah, at least those are the supplies that I'm using for now. If I add anything else to the collection, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But yeah, this poor little guy, RIP, he gave his life for the sense of experimentation of different techniques with different types of paper. But I'll definitely, when I edit the video and I bring it out, I'll definitely show you guys all of my findings for that because, oh boy, it super changed the game for me. So, yeah, this one, just in case you guys are joining me for the first time, what I'm doing now is I sketched this beauty up for today's stream, and what I'm doing is I'm gonna transfer the drawing to watercolor paper. And if you guys have ever drawn on watercolor paper, you know no matter what, it's a bit on the finicky side. So what I'm doing is I'm getting tracing paper. I am tracing my drawing onto one side and then going to trace it on the other. So then the graphite transfers over to the watercolor paper. So then I don't have to like draw it over and over again. And what I'm using is a 2B pencil for the darker parts of the outline. And then I'll use a mechanical pencil for like the smaller details. What I'm hoping today to do too on stream, if we have enough time, is to kind of find out the colors of her tattoo. So I'm gonna kind of experiment with different color schemes and stuff. But yeah, how you guys doing? Oh, I know. R.I.P. More alcohol. Oh my gosh, do you use the oh my gosh, how did I forget the name already for oh my gosh, I used them for like a year. Copic markers. Do you use Copic markers? Oh man, I miss them so much. Oh, thank you. Oh no no no, I'm not a thank you. I definitely have respect for the Copic marker world or the alcohol-based ones because ooh, blending, it is a gift. Oh, and you do? How's are you drawing anything lately? Oh, same with digital art. Man, I really took for granted how different digital art and traditional media. I really it is. You have to think of color completely different way. I do like that control like is it control Z where you can like erase things and like that's I do love it cuz you cannot do that. Copics are great though. I really wanted to try the Chow, I think it's called, markers. Oh, because they were such pretty. My thing with Copic markers, it's like, oh my gosh, I would just get all the markers. Like I feel I would put myself in debt immediately just because of all the beautiful colors. Yeah, that is basically what deterred me from, well, number one, because at least the area I was living in, they only had a select few. Oh yeah, also guys, if you use tracing paper to like transfer anything, it's not like regular paper. It's very much like tissue paper. So one of the things I learned is like if you're gonna erase, erase up and never side to side because it will like crinkle the paper pretty easily. So fun tip, fun fact for today. Oh, but it's so true. Like, do you recommend any alternatives? Are there any like cheaper alternatives? Please. Also, if you have any like channel recommendations as far as, because I'm a novice myself, um, when it comes to some traditional media. Like I love learning. I do. I need to get like I want to learn more about acrylic wash and also if I get silent for a bit, it's just mostly I try not to be like too excited. I do. I get a little loud when I get excited, so I'm so sorry. Just let me know if you're just like, dial it down. Like you're a 10, dial it down to a 5. But yeah, just going in with some details here. Yes, yes, I completely know. The undo button is yes, lifesaver. I know there's a brand called, oh, you know what? I had one of my followers tell me if it was good or not, and I never heard of it before. I've never heard of it before they mentioned it, and I guess because a lot of the artists that I follow, they use, from what I've seen, either paint markers, which I've seen are pretty nice. The only thing is with paint markers, the complaint that I've had is like there's very few fine tip um, brands, so it's like mostly like you have to do like bulkier pieces. But oh, okay. You know what? If there's a way like for me to get my hands on some, I think I'll do like a review on the channel because I feel I feel it's been mentioned enough that okay, I'm about to like break my own advice and erase sideways. So how you doing on the digital front? I'm not gonna lie, I'm super novice at that too because I've only used Fire Alpaca. I've never used Procreate or um, Adobe, anything like that. But I miss. Oh, I love to using Prisma, like for, which honestly I switched over to. Let me see to this one, the art alternatives, because again, it's like I feel a lot of my art choices they're made for me, like depending where I live. Oh, but I do love the Jelly Roll. I'm just like looking at it. Oh man, I love this for highlights, but it does lift the paint if you do use watercolor, so you gotta be careful. Gotta make sure it's like super dry. That's pretty much it. I think from what I've learned with different products and stuff, it's not so much which brand do you use, it's learning like how to use it. You know, that's why I always tell people if you're gonna try something new, um, it's better to go cheaper and see if it's something that you like to do, um, and you wouldn't mind, spending hours and hours like kind of perfecting it. Not perfecting it because that's the wrong way to look at it, but learning from it and then going because I'm not gonna lie, like watercolor, it if you go for like the higher brand stuff, like Holbein and stuff, I was looking it up like as I was going to like show you guys. My goodness, for a pack of 25, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was $60, which is double like what. And honestly, if you're new to watercolor or stuff like that, like don't because you're gonna break paper, it's just a part of the learning process, you know? So, um, and what nobody tells you when you use certain products is, especially, it depends on the kind of paper you use, the brushes that you use. Nobody talks about that. Certain things are paired better. So it's kind of like like with recipes, not to go down this rabbit hole, get it? Because we're drawing rabbits. Um, but like nobody tells you that. Like it's very similar to recipes where, you know, like sure you can follow it to a T, but depending on like the brand of oven that you have or the types of like I remember I followed this one recipe once that asked for like vanilla extract, and I remember switching that brand and the recipe completely changed. Like it tasted so much better. And that was just from switching one thing. So I feel in a lot of ways art is like that. It's very much influenced by your style, by your practice. So I promote a lot more like switching up different things by your style and experimenting than like, oh, you have to use this brand. So fancy. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jess. I'm completely ignoring you. I'm sorry. Post-it pens are cool, but yeah, they aren't a lot of. Oh, Posca. Yes. Oh, I've been so tempted. Like, you know why? I blame Instagram for all of like my hoarding. Like I do. I call it like my art hoarding. And I will give you this. If I want to say this is a cheaper alternative, if um now it's similar. I can't say because I've never used Posca, but I did successfully paint on wood with this. And I got a pretty good effect on it. It's just I think it's just a Hobby Lobby paint marker. Like I kind of stole it from my husband by accident one day, thinking like he came to surprise me, and it was really just like a pack of markers he needed for work, but I claimed it as my own. Thinking he surprised me. See, this is why he can't leave anything marker related or anything that I can interpret as art supply as my own. But yeah, I saw, but what was cool about this one is that there when I looked into it, there's ones that are like thicker like this, but then there's others that were double-ended for like finer tips. So I want to say honestly, it did the job. Like um yeah, it did the job. So, and I want to say he got like a pack of 12 for like 5.99 in Hobby Lobby. But Posca markers, they look so pretty. Yeah, it's called the Lelix. So Lelix paint markers. The gold, I was actually super surprised how like pigmented it was. Jadar is another beast. Procreate is really good. I use Paint Tool Sai, and I got Clip Studio recently. I've been trying to sit down and do more studies digitally because I'm quite comfortable with traditional sketch. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. Oh, that's amazing. That's great. Do you have any like do you want to ever do like your own series, or is there like a specific project, like your dream project? Oh, wow, storyboarding. That's so exciting. No, and then you can do like your portfolio and oh, I'm so sorry if I'm bombarding you with questions too. Just let me know if you're more in the mood for lurking. I apologize if that's the I just get excited with art talk. That's why I always keep mine. I always have videos in the backlog too in case we ever get to like art discussion, so then you guys always see art on screen no matter what. Alrighty, so um I'm looking, we're good, we're doing good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is actually flip it, and it is safe to say when you are flipping um, your art to like trace it again on the other side, put it on a surface that you don't care if graphite gets on it because it will probably happen. Oh, hi, Mama. You're good? Oh, okay. My puppy was tip-tapping. She likes to teleport to different locations depending on how she feels. Why do you look at me with these eyes of judgment? I think it's because my sandal was in the way. She was like, please move, heathen. You know this was my spot. Okay, so I'm just gonna trace the back. I'm using a 2B pencil for outline, just to have like a thicker outline. It'll transfer a lot easier, but at least for the details. Uh, but yeah, it's a pretty good idea to basically retrace everything. So then as much graphite transfers on this side, because if we directly transfer from the front side, it will basically just copy a mirror image. So many projects, so many ideas, so true. I want to make my own thing and work on other people's projects too because I need experience too. Oh, good, good. Oh, that's good to hear. Ooh, that's exciting. Do you have any at least specific studio or um like one of your inspirations that at least for me, like I'm not gonna lie, like I love character building, and one of the people that I follow recently, they told me about there's this new I think it's called Oh man, I'm gonna look it up. See, this is why. Uh, let me see. It's called, I think, Art Fight. I want to see. Thank goodness I know exactly which profile to look at. Yeah, it's called Art Fight, and it's basically like where people are drawing, like basically people the OCs and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's why when you said so many projects, so little time, like oh my gosh, like I die to join, but at the same time, like I'm like, oh, but I need. It's kind of like for me, for me, it's kind of like when I go to like an art supply store, I always tell myself, I'm like, oh, I just need this one thing, and then that's why I always wait to go on the weekends or something when I've already done all my all my chores and all like the things that I need to do for because I just know I'm just gonna go down a rabbit hole of just things. Oh man, I just always end up being there for way too long. See, this is why, guys, I tell you advice and then I never practice it. Don't go side to side because you will hear that. Like, see, it'll be angry at you if you go side to side. Learn from me. Don't do as I do. Please learn from me. I think that's mostly why I want to come on here because I'm not gonna lie, my first experience with watercolor was demonizing. It was not a fun time. I, to this day, you guys sometimes tell me, like, oh my gosh, you're like the Bob Ross of, you're like the female Bob Ross of Twitch. And I'm just kind of like, number one, he is an angel, and I would only be so lucky to be eclipsed by the shadow of that man. He is, oh my gosh, a legend. But however, like I am so anti drawing landscapes because that's all they would teach me in school, and I did not touch watercolor for a long time. It wasn't actually until like when DeviantArt was a bigger thing. I'm sure it's still a big thing. It's just I went on to like Instagram and stuff for my art content. Um, Probably if I download the app. I think that's just what it is. If DeviantArt, I don't even know if it's an app or not. See, that's how out of the loop I am. Um, like if I got to that point again, I, oh, that's why I do like characters, and I was really inspired by Ali Birdseed, who she had a DeviantArt, and oh man, just like back in the day, that opened my eyes like a lot to, oh hey, like you can actually draw your own characters and then use watercolor as like a way to paint and color and mix your own colors. I do love me some colors. That's mostly why I gravitate towards painting, because I like creating my own shades. And but I didn't come into that uh, discovery until I was probably like in my late teens, because just watercolor was just a bunch of tree. Like that's all I used it for. It was literally draw this tree, draw this mountain, draw this flower. And sure, after a while, um, it was okay, but I really loved characters and drawing cute things and fan art. Hello. I did. I just back in the day, especially in my fan art days and my fanfic days, man, all I wanted to do was draw Sasuke from Naruto, man. Like, and I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that in my art class back in the day. Yeah, that's why I loved even art like back in the when I was on there. Oh my gosh, it was super fun because it just kind of opened my eyes that art can be anything that you want it to. As agonizing as it is, there's a part of us that's still love to do it. as masochistic as we all are. And you know what I'm talking about. You know those days. I do have to admit, like, I have been suffering a little bit from, like, just fatigue, I guess, like art fatigue, especially when you pick up something new. Like, oof. Okay, turning paper really quick because I got shaky hand, especially on for anything curvature. For getting experience, I wouldn't mind what studio or what project for my personal work. Some of my stories would not be super kid stories with some inspo coming from Berserk. Oh, Berserk, Owl House, various. Oh man, we gotta talk about spooky, scary. Yes, please. Oh yeah, that's true. We're a bunch of masochists. Like there's no even anybody who's like, I love it. I love my job. We are. We're a bunch secretly, inwardly. Yes, we are. We love the pain. But oh, we got to talk about horror. If this is, I'm so excited because up until now, the conversations I've had, it's I love horror, and then the other person being like, I just, if you're into video games, by any chance, my husband and I, we got Resident Evil Village, which like I'm in love with, and also we started watching The Conjuring. Have you seen the third Conjuring? Oh my gosh, I never watched. Okay, because I'm not the type of person to watch things in order. I'm okay. I can like live with myself. But we watched the third one and I was very happy. And so I was like, yes, we must watch more. So we've been watching Annabelle and even though for me I'm more into like I like the older um like The Thing and one of my favorites is 30 Days of Night. Like as a comic book and as a oh my gosh, like yeah, we can talk about horror if that's I've been dying to read too. If you're more into like literature horror, there's a book I want to get my hands on called Things Have Gone Worse Since the Last Time We Met or wait. Oh my gosh, wait. I also used to play D&D and I played like the HP Lovecraft ones. So after that, uh, like I went on an HP Lovecraft kick for a bit. The spooks in my name. It's there. Oh yes, you're so right. You live by your name. Yes, it's honestly it takes a little bit. Okay, it does take a little bit. We've played through because we kind of do this thing where my husband and I we only have one PC at the moment that can like handle um the graphics and so we like do the whole thing of like passing the controller so when one of us dies and it just got to the point where I died so many times I'm like here take it I want to see where the story is going because I get impatient so it is a slow burn at first but the story is pretty good um okay, so this is where we're getting to like the meat of the drawing, I guess. We're going to use the mechanical pencil, even on the thicker outlines, um, just to get like a sharper edge. And so I'm gonna do that within all the drawings. Hopefully it'll um, like kind of mark through on the other side. And then whatever gaps there is, I'll try and do that with the 2B pencil. But at least for now, I want kind of sharper lines. So we're going to do that and trace it over onto the watercolor paper. I also put a circle if there's anybody who has trouble with aligning things. For me, I like putting circle backgrounds onto the paper beforehand so then it kind of like places my character where I want them. Since this is going to be kind of a draft one, I'm going to experiment with color and palette and stuff because I have no idea what her color schemes are going to be. I was kind of like, we'll just stick her here. Um, but yeah, so that's what we're doing now. Oh my gosh, is that Pokey Pokes? Hi, how you doing? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. How you doing? How is life? It has been. Tell me everything. Oh my gosh, everything's been going crazy over here. Things have been shutting down even more because of quarantine. Um, I'm trying to think of the foster puppies are doing good though. I'm happy to report. I played Resident Evil 7 recently since I can't play 8. It's really cool so far. Oh, I promise to not Bloodborne. Is blood? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if I'm misunderstanding the Bloodborne. Is that Elder Scroll? No. See, everything I feel is. I may need clarification on the Bloodborne part, just because I feel like I know it, and then yeah, Biohazard. Honestly, as far as what part are you in? So then I don't. Oh well, if you played it already, probably. Yeah, if you finished everything. Oh my gosh, like that part for me, what was funny is like I was scared at the part where the guy with the shotgun of all things, like for whatever reason, it wasn't, I guess because it was so lifelike. And it was funny because there was a point where like we're fighting I call her the fly lady, but like the one who she's infested with like all that stuff, like it grossed me out, but it didn't scare me. And for whatever reason, like my husband kept making fun of me the whole time. He's like, this is what gets you? The guy with the shotgun?" I was like, yeah, because I watched too much like Law and Order SVU for this. Like, well, I've just been chilling, but I did go to an Air Force. Oh, that's so cool. Like, do you see like real models and stuff? Because I know, was there anything that, oh, I think I've seen one, if I'm not mistaken, in DC. I don't know if it was like an Air Force one, but I remember they had kind of a model of like the first airplane, I think. I think it was just like the Museum of Earth and Sciences. And how's the book going? Because I know from the last time you were reading the. Oh no. Oh, I know, right? Oh, I felt the same. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and I knew it. I totally the whole time we kept passing that. Oh, I apologize if anyone hasn't played the seventh Resident Evil Biohazard. Um, I don't want to spoil it in case somebody does hear this. Okay, so I understand, but also like there was hints, man. Like there was like she was a little bit too, how can I put it, to not, she had a lot of airtime. Okay, I'll leave it at that. She had a lot of airtime for somebody who was very innocent, you know. But yeah, you're right. I don't know. Oh, and that family, like, oh, especially when they like play back the, like, yeah, because at first, especially when they were talking to each other, like, you know, when you're first at the dinner table and stuff, like, it was kind of messed up. I was like, oof, it's not a very happy family, but you sure it's the aviation. Oh, okay. I'm getting close to the end right now, like at the Cold War area in Art. Oh, okay, nice. Is there anything like interesting that you found at least from. I know, I wish honestly I want to keep my promise, but they're still closing that area for construction for uh, I know, like I don't know if it's because just the timing, but too because of the weather. A lot of the roads are closed and stuff. But if you ever want to see Okinawa beaches, I'm super happy because they're actually opening up some of the cafes here, and we're thinking of going to an Elvis cafe that's here. I'm super excited for that because they have uh, like pineapple pastries and like Hawaiian coffee, and it sounds. Oh yeah, she was too kind, too much airtime. Every time the grandma appeared, I was like, "Hey, Graham." Oh, that's so true. I did it because I at first I was like, "Oh man, I hope we can take her with us." Like I thought there was maybe an option to do that, and then I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Poor grandma." Like, Graham. I'm trying to think of another character too. Oh my gosh, the thing with the car made me laugh too because like, especially especially like when you run over the, I don't know, there were certain points, I don't know, as much as I love even scary movies, for me I like very like hammy, like camp horror too. Where it's like it borderlines on being cheesy. Oh man, and for whatever reason, that car scene, it just reminded me of like bad movies for like with bad stunts and stuff. Oh man, it just made me laugh. Like, especially when you try and like run over. Oh my gosh, it sounds awful when I say it, but when you actually play it, it just made me laugh for whatever reason. I guess because of how ridiculous the whole scenario is. Oh, I felt bad for the cop too. Oh, yeah, that was oof. It was too good to be true. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should caption this once I post it up. Like, Resident Evil spoilers contained warning. Yeah, I'll make sure to like timestamp it. So then, but as far as yeah, they haven't opened up any of the aviation things over here, which is super ironic just because there's an Air Force thing. But literally, all of the roads are closed for a portion of it until I guess everything's fixed up, which I don't blame them just because the rain here can get pretty heavy. So, all right, guys, so let's see. Alrighty, lift. Okay, we see a little bit. So, I don't know how well that reads on camera. Probably not that much, but I assure you here there's a little bit of line work. Just enough because I won't lie, watercolor picks up on everything. So, doing it this way, it really helps out. Just because it smudges pretty easily. Um, like I kind of did that experiment before, uh, where I drew directly onto it and just the lead went everywhere. Like that was with mechanical, which is pretty thin. It's like a point 0.5 lead. Um, Even though for me, my sketches, if you do see a lot of my sketches here, when I first started out, I sketched drawings with watercolor pencil, and honestly, it does save a lot of your art. So what you can do is, what I did with this painting is I actually washed it ahead of time, not like wash, but like um, what you can do is paint it beforehand, whatever color that you want, and then transfer the trace over it. So, yeah, we can. I definitely recommend it that way, just because I've messed up paintings before, where I made the background a little too dark, or I didn't have enough paint to wash like the whole setting. If it's something like where you guys would ever want a tutorial on that, I can set that up for you guys. But it's very much recommended to do your wash kind of like in one setting, let it dry completely. And if you're anything like me, that you're impatient, what I'm starting to kind of do, especially like when I crank out these paintings, I'm pre-washing everything like beforehand. Um, so then it's kind of like ready to go. But the thing is with me is that I change my mind like 50 million times. So I can't ever just pick a color. Um, but yeah, what you can do is at least for the fainter parts, you can very lightly use your mechanical pencil and outline the borders, so then when you go in with your watercolor, you at least have a little bit of an edge to it, but not having to trace the whole thing because, oh, okay, so I'm just gonna go in, line that up really quick, just for that left, and then I can read you guys' message. Well, I think the A10 is really cool. Basically a gun with a plane. Oh, is that the, oh, no, that's not the plane that you told me about last time, right? Like the one that it admittingly kind of looked like a little children's toy, like where, but I know it's not. I know it's like a whole like German weapon, which should not be mocked in any way. So it rips everything, it flies, wow, really low to help the troops for airstrikes and stuff, but it was developed for the Cold War. A bunch were built because they were so cheap to produce well in the military. Oh, it was American. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, yeah, because the last plane that we talked about last time, it was the German one, I believe. Yes, oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I know at least like from the Air Force, like that, the planes that we at least see, um, they're all going to be, uh, honestly, like those things are pretty silent, at least, like from, like you really, yeah, the UFO looking one. Yeah. Which I'm not, honestly, I love hearing even from like the conspiracy theories and stuff. Um, I think there was one where I think they called it the Tic Tac, where it was like the first like aerial thing that actually moved from side to side, I think. Um, oh man, I just forget if it was like in the 70s or the 80s that they saw something like that. Oh man, I do love me some sci-fi. Well, speaking of even horror stuff like the aliens, I actually read some of like the franchise books that were like spin-offs from the movies and like the scripts and stuff, and they're actually pretty good. Like I got the book basically from one of those cheapo bookstores that I think it was like where you any copy of book is like $1. um, it like we had a similar thing back in the States. It was kind of like a book barn. That's what it was called. And basically, they would buy back books at a cheaper price, so then they would like resell them. And I found like whole stacks of just Alien franchise, which was super fun, just because at the time, like I was in a campaign that was like like Dungeon, Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So it gave me ideas on like sci-fi rules, I guess. If there's ever a point where you were playing Dungeons and Dragons and you always died like I did, read you some sci-fi and you can get some good ideas from how to like survive an alien attack, especially once you throw science in some. Yes, 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 yes. Like trying to play alien game and change it. Oh, there's also if you like Dead Space? Dead Space. One of my friends recommended it and I saw some of the designs for it and it was pretty, if I'm not like misremembering. I don't know, anything space related, it's scary and it's inherently scary just because of like the void and the I don't know, like even the really optimistic ones, like there's part of me that like I'm kind of terrified just. But yes, yeah, the white tic tac. Yeah, I just remember hearing a podcast where it was this guy who maybe you'd be really interested in it, Pokey. I'll try and find the specific name, but it was a guy who he was a pilot for the Air Force, like bona fide like aerial attack person, like trained for 20 years, something like that. He was very like a huge skeptic, and he saw this thing. Let me see. I'll try. I just remember one of my husband's friends was I never played it because my sister never let me, but I watched her play it and we both screamed a lot. It is because Dead Space, it's very from what my friend told me, it's a lot, it's like jump scary, but the designs are terrifying. And it's true when she showed me like the actual, because they metamorph, like, hopefully not to spoil anything, but like you think you killed it and you think you're good, and then it just it's very similar to Resident Evil. It just turns on you and it's even worse. So it's like it kind of like just puts you in a space of like, what's the point in even killing this thing if it's just gonna like graduate to something even worse? But I like the only, I'm trying to think, like other scary oh, I'm playing Little Nightmares now, and it's more puzzly. It's like more of a puzzle game, but I really like the style of it, and it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful game. Terrifyingly beautiful, but still beautiful. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I think we're just gonna get to the sketch portion today. I'm so sorry. It's because you guys were so fun. But I'm not gonna lie. It's because it's a bit more detailed than I would have planned. I do. I think I don't mean to, but I end up. Uh, if anything, for what I can do is I can do a stream within. Well, if we have a Wednesday, what I can do is probably plan a stream for tomorrow, possibly, depending if the art gods are willing. Um, so then we can paint this tomorrow. Oh, especially this one's actually the test one. So what I can do is finish the test. Okay, hear me out. We finished the test, right? So I sketch this out. I kind of get all of the colors coordinated, and then I will transfer everything onto like the for real sketch and like the more bona fide one. And yeah, you guys can see me paint that one while we have like all the colors and stuff sorted out. Human like, and then it just gets awful, yes. Oh, you did? Oh, yes. I'm on the first one. I got the first game from like where it had all like the bonus content and stuff because it went on sale. And it's so cute. I love like the little teapot like mask that you can put on. I thought that was a really cute feature. But it's so, I don't know, it's so creative. I think that's like where it gets me because it is scary and it's spooky, but at the same time, like there's points where sometimes I just pause and I go, "Man, that was a good idea." Like, yeah, like for me, that's when a game is won. Or in a movie, like that's how you know, for at least in my book, that a movie's good is when I pause it, or like I just pause from being scared for 2 seconds and just take a step back and be like, "Man, that was a good choice. I liked like what they did with that." And I am so sorry, guys. Oh man, I gotta go. I'm so sorry. I need to feed my family. I'm so sad to leave you guys because it's such a good conversation as always. But I will finish up this sketch. I'll post it on my Instagram so then you guys can kind of see the color direction that I'll go in. And I'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow, cross fingers, or if anything, definitely on Wednesday, since I always try and stick to that schedule. And thank you guys so much for joining, and I really appreciate. Oh man, that's so true. Oh man, I think I'm tempted to. No, I gotta stay on track because I'm tempted to like do fan art now. Oh no. Oh, it was really nice to meet you too, and thank you so much for joining. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.